Meet our officials for this match. Our first referee, Joven Rosales, national referee. The second referee is Erlindo Eusebio, national referee. And now let's meet the starters. First for the Zus Coffee Thunderbelles. Center from the College of St. Benil, number 8, team captain Flo Mondoñedo. Middle blocker also from CSB, number 1, Mitch Gamit. Outside spiker also from St. Benil, number 7, Jade Hentapa. Opposite hitter also from CSB, number 9, Kale Pascual. Outside spiker from Japan, number 15, Asaka Tamaru. Middle blocker from the Lyceum of the Philippines University, number 17, Joy Onofre. Starting libero from the University of the East, number 11, Janina Zeta. And coach for the Thunderbelles is Jerry Yee. And now the starters for the Cignal HD Spikers. Outside spiker from San Beda University, number 7, team captain, Ces Molina. Opposite hitter from the Far Eastern University, number 10, Chin Chin Basas. Middle blocker from the National University, number 11, Jackie Acuna. Outside spiker from Venezuela, number 15, Maria Perez. Middle blocker from the University of Santo Tomas, number 18, Ria Meneses. Center from FEU, number 22, Jel Cayuna. Starting libero from the University of the East, number 9, Judith Abil. And coach for Cignal is Shaq De Los Santos. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is Zus Coffee versus Cignal. This is the PVL, the heart of volleyball.
Once again, good afternoon as we take a look at the starters. Gamit, Onofre, Pascual, Mondoñedo, Tamaru, and Hentapa. Together with Zeta as the starters for Zus Coffee. On the other side, Meneses, Acuna, Pasas, Cayuna, Molina, Perez, and Abil as the libero are the starters for the Cignal HD Spikers. Game number 1 of Pool B action starts right here, right now. Once again, we'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Anthony Stay here together with Mela Tunay as we have our first serve to start off proceedings. Here's Tuesday.
Very interesting set of starters for both teams. Talking about Cignal starting with their middle in Acuna. They did the same strategy last game also, but towards the latter part of the game, they did switch to Doria, who scored 6 points off from 4 blocks that game. So let's see if the middles can also, make as big of an impact here in this game against Zus Coffee.
Molina starts things off there with a score, 1-0 for Cignal. Into the pin, quick hit there. Pascual ties things up at 1.
Gail Pascual finding the gap between the blockers. It's a very tall front line for Cignal, so it's a very good strategy by Pascual to look for the gap.
Cayuna goes to Meneses and she delivers.
The Cignal HD Spikers, like we did mention, the middles can be that impact in this game. As we know, Perez, Molina, and Basas, they had stellar games last match against the Chocomucho Flying Titans, but we want to see how big the contributions of the middles will be in this game.
Well, now we have the reinforcement here in Tamaru, scoring her first point. It's at 2.
A very easy point there for Tamaru. And so far, both the points of Zus Coffee coming off from open attacks, and this time their third point, getting the lead against Cignal, courtesy of that error from the HD Spikers. That's
a good serve from Onofre. Perez going with power that time. Back to Perez, this time with power. And it'll score. We're tied at 3.
And we know with the Cignal HD Spikers, a lot of the locals can come up with those powerful hits. But, you know, they could always take that extra firepower from MJ Perez. And I think more than anything, it's really the stability that she brings to this already veteran team in the Cignal HD Spikers.
Now they're going to get the lead. As we check in with Alexis.
From an open spiker to a queen libero overnight, POG last match. Judith Abel is actually excited to have taken on a role that has greater heights, given that this is a role that has given her a different kind of fulfillment. And with that, di man siya humahampas ng puntos, getting scrappy on the floor, making sure every ball is saved. Lalo na ang first ball is indeed a different kind of high. Regarding her getting the POG was that moment. She realized kaya pala niya maging isang reliable na miyembro ng Cignal HD Spikers. Bonus na lang daw ang support ng fans online. Judith's goal is to have a conference she'll never forget. This report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now for 149 pesos per month. Back to you, Mela and Anthony.
Well, as you can see there, she made quite an impression, Mela, in her very first game, being heralded as the player of the game.
That's right. And I think reacting to that Alexis Tinsay report, no, gusto ni Abel ng conference hindi niya malilimutan. I think achieve niya na yan agad because this is the first time she's playing libero in any team she played for.
Perez goes down the line, scores her second point.
MJ Perez just finding those corner pockets. Earlier, it was the same target, but on the other side, but that time around with power, and this time, really catching the line with that down-the-line hit.
Not able to get that was Perez, and scoring again is Zus Coffee.
So far, watching both of these teams, you can see that the setters are activating the middles early on in this game. And we have a very talented matchup of setters here, talking about Cayuna, 3-time PVL best setter, and also a former NCAA MVP in Mondoñedo.
From the back row, Perez is going to score once again. She's got 3 markers early on.
And we saw Pascual. She wasn't ready for that.
The spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan.
Paatras pa lang siya dun sa pwesto niya. Naka-land na yung atake na yun ni MJ Perez.
Perez there with a dig. Over to Molina. Quick retaliation there coming from Zus Coffee.
That's the kind of connection that we mentioned in the pregame that we hope they'd build as the conference goes. Because that is the impact when you have a very talented setter who knows how to connect with all the spikers. This time, Cayuna tried to take matters into her own hands, but Hentapa just guarding her well on that 1-2 attempt.
We're tied at 7. Another good serve here from Zus Coffee. Back to the pin, Molina with power that time. That's going to bring us to our first technical timeout here. We'll be back for more action in a bit. Suportahan natin ang mga atletang Pilipino sa Paris Olympic Games 2024. Watch the games live from July 26 to August 11 on One Sports, One Sports Plus, RPTV, TV5, and Pilipinas Live app. 100 taong laban para sa bayan. Back to the action here at the Phil Sports Arena. It's Zus Coffee up against Cignal HD.
Now serving for Cignal, Kayuna.
Kayuna with the serve. Her squad up by 1, 8-7. Abil was there. Point still alive. Perez with the dig. And a violation is going to be called. That'll be the second here on Kayuna.
That defense was a bit too tight, and you really saw Jel Kayuna struggling to get to that second ball, resulting to that error. But what a game for Zus Coffee. They're really faring well here against the more veteran team in Cignal.
And that's despite not having their top draft still available. Angeles able to keep that one alive.
That touch.
Meneses was saying that she was able to make contact, but still, right now, one of the players is injured.
You see Hentapa on the floor right now, being attended to by some of their team staff.
And they're quickly bringing out the stretcher here, as they're still trying to assess the situation.
So tracing back to that last rally, it was actually a very good save by Angeles, and they kept the ball alive. Meneses being called with a violation by our second referee, but the next thing we know, Hentapa was on the floor. We're not sure if she collided with Meneses or she got lack of balance in her landing. We're gonna try to find out. So we see very worried teammates.
Well, the medics are trying to get her out of there as quickly as they possibly can. They brought out the stretcher, but I think more than anything else, they need to assess the situation first.
Hentapa saying she can't walk, so they're gonna make use of this stretcher. Oh.
And now she gets up.
She's being assisted outside of the court. It is a good sign that she's able to put weight on both legs, but clearly she's limping.
And clearly she's not going to be good to go anymore for the remainder of this match.
Dolly Versosa entering the court. She was the captain of then Strong Group Athletics. So they have retained some of the core, including Dolly Versosa, who showed us some sparks of her potential on her debut last conference. So this time, she needs to step up as we see the captains being talked to by our first referee.
So now with the serve, Zus Coffee, they've got their setter doing the chores. Great serve. Molina tries to go across court with success. Coming off that block. That block attempt.
Zus Molina taking advantage of that mini commotion from the side of Zus Coffee. Definitely it's going to be a distraction to the team, so now's the time to really step on that gas pedal.
They set up Perez, and she comes up with a monster kill.
And MJ Perez, she had 2 blockers. She made it seem like there was none. Just look at that. The hands of the blockers are a bit far off the net, leaving a big opening for MJ Perez.
Another good serve there from Molina. Great hit from Pascual, getting way above the blockers.
Well, the reason she was able to do that was because of that excellent set by Clo Mondoñedo. She was able to pick up Ria Meneses to block the middle on that decoy.
Basas dug. Point still alive though. Back to Perez. And she goes through the blocker that time.
Great transition play from the HD Spikers. Basas had a great spike attempt earlier, and with this chance ball, they were able to pull off this transition. Great speed also from Jel Cayuna, feeding it well to MJ Perez.
Nice serve there from Meneses. Great dig by Cayuna. Free ball though coming up here for Zus. Can they take advantage? They go up the middle. Meneses was there. Perez once again goes down the line. Was that checked? They say no.
No signal from the players of Zus to call for a challenge. So the point is going to be awarded to Cignal. But let's talk about Ria Meneses, who's had a couple of touches on defense. It's so nice to see her transition to that kind of middle blocker na hindi lang sa harap nagko-contribute but also in defense. But this time, no matter how good the defense of Cignal is, no one could get to that regalo.
Well, she saw that rebounding straight to her, and she was ready. Back set, Basas goes cross court, and it stays in.
You're being treated by both the setters of Zus and Cignal with excellent playmaking here today. And that time around, Jel Cayuna connecting well with her college teammate in Chinchin Basas, who scored 8 points also in their last match.
Tamaro just sent that one over. Cayuna to the middle. Cunha is going to score her first point.
Cunha already surpassing her 2-point output against Choco Mucho right now with 3 points. But one thing to note also between the two teams, Zuz's errors, so far they only have 1. Meanwhile, Cignal had already committed 4.
Nice combination play working there for Pascual. That's going to bring Zus to within 2.
And we love to see the younger squad in Zus Coffee really moving and producing their points. They're not relying, although we did mention the errors of Cignal, but it was also forced by the good game of Zus Coffee. But talking about good game, Acuna seems like she woke up on the right side of the bed today. 4 points like already.
Why not just continue to go to her? She has found her rhythm early. Perez with the serve. Her squad up by 3. Tamaro denied. That is going to bring us to another timeout. Yes, it is. It is 16-12. Cignal now with their biggest lead at 4. Welcome back to the Phil Sports Arena for this match between the Cignal HD Spikers and the Zus Coffee Thunderbelles. 4-point lead right now opened up here by Cignal HD, Mela.
It's a very efficient 6-2 run pulled off by the Cignal HD Spikers. And it actually started with that fall from Hintapa. And they continue with this streak of points, make it 7-2, courtesy of that MJ Perez service ace.
That one dipped right after it passed the net. Watch it here. A lot of topspin.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of players transitioning to this kind of serve, even with our locals, but the amount of load and power that MJ puts in that serve, really something to watch out for this conference.
Molina will just push it forward and score once again as you send it over to Alexis.
Anthony and Carmela, team that's brewing. Zus Coffee's Jade Hintapa's left knee wobbled during a landing in the first set, leading to an unfortunate fall and a cry in pain. Her left knee is currently being assessed, wrapped, and iced by the medics. Will then get updated by the coaching staff in the coming sets if she could return. But for now, Jade has now rested, cheering from the sidelines for her teammates. Back to the panel.
Well, we wish her the best, and we hope it's nothing serious. As there you can see, there's really nothing else she can do but wait for the assessment.
It is her knee that had some problems after that fall earlier.
A great serve from Tamaru, and Versosa converts.
Dolly Versosa winning over Acuna, getting that ball first. And that gives her, a balance with that height disparity against a taller Acuna.
Tamaru is going to have an ace, and so the reinforcement of Zus Coffee also getting her ace to match the ace of Perez.
Just a 3-point lead by Cignal. Let's see if they get to equalize here. Talking about Zus Coffee.
Molina, that's a great dig there from Angeles. Tamaru. Well, that came off the net. But they're going to say it made contact with one of the players. Well, there's going to be a challenge here.
Coach Shaq looking very chill, asking the players to just, talk with each other, go for that huddle during this challenge. But again, they're challenging that call after a triple block was put up against Asaka Tamaru on her pipe hit.
It clearly made contact with the net now before it went out. Hindi natin alam kung tumama doon sa isa sa mga player.
But they still have a 3-point lead here. But clearly, with the ratings we're going on the side of Zus Coffee, they cannot relax against this team. Oh, it seemed like there was a contact. And probably Molina did not feel it because of her elbow support. But this is going to be an unsuccessful challenge for Coach Shaq and Cignal.
Unsuccessful point stays with Zus Coffee. HD Spikers still have one more challenge remaining in this set.
That lead has been cut down to 2. Tamaru still at the service line. Another great serve from her. Ooh, Cunha thought she had another point.
Great efforts displayed by Angeles. She has saved a lot of balls already with the rallies that they've had against Cignal, but that time it's not gonna cross the net legally because it happened before the antenna.
Quick set. From the back row, Perez. One of the longer rallies, and Meneses is there for a monster block.
Just look at everybody from both sides, really moving well in transition. But this time, the height disparity that we've been talking about earlier, when you have Versosa in the front line, you need to make something special for her. You need to curate her attacks, especially if you're going up against a top blocking team in Cignal.
That's a violation, clearly on Mondoñedo. And she realized it.
Timeout, Zus Coffee.
Timeout here going to be called by Coach Jerry.
Bilang first ball, meron namang first ball, di ba? Ilang ka? Dalawa ka sa harap, tuman ba ako? Sige, go.
5-point lead now opened up here by Cignal as they look to take set number 1.
Still serving for Cignal, Jackie Acuna.
Acuna with a serve. So far having a great game for herself. Ooh, that's close to the net. They set up Meneses. Boy, Tamaru able to find that spot.
The Thunderbelles reacting well to that Coach Jerry timeout. They were reminded na may first ball naman. So, bakit nagkakaproblema sa atake? And Tamaru right away connecting well with Mondoñedo for that pipe.
Good serve from Gamit. It's an ace.
Just look at that. Back-to-back points for Zus Coffee after that Coach Jerry timeout. You also love to see the maturity unfolding right before our eyes, talking about this young squad in Zus Coffee.
They go to Perez, and why not? And the reinforcement delivers.
And J. Perez just towering above the blockers. Look at that.
Cayuna serving, her squad 3 points away from taking set number 1. Versosa is going to send it over. Chance once again, they go to Meneses. Basas goes down the line.
Basas really have a very distinct approach. It's a very limited number of steps to get to those sets, but she always delivers. She's a very efficient attacker. And the good thing is, she's very familiar and very connected with Jel Cayuna.
Only out.
Cignal already at set point, and they have quite an advantage with Tamaru being in the back row right now.
That's not going to get over for Versosa. So set number 1 will be taken here by Cignal. 25-18 is our tally. We'll be back for more. 25-18 in 26 minutes of action here for Cignal HD as they look for back-to-back victories to open up their campaign here in the Reinforced Conference. As we take a look at some of the highlights of set number 1.
We've mentioned throughout that set that Zus Coffee had been moving very well, but we know that the Cignal HD Spikers, they have the leverage when it comes to attacks. They have more efficient options, but nothing to take away from Zus Coffee. They did perform well on that set number 1, but let's take a look back at the advantage. Talking about the attack percentage, we have a 44% conversion rate for the HD Spikers with 17 attacks in that set number 1, while 10 coming from Zus Coffee. That is 23% efficiency. They converted 10 of their 44 attempts. But Perez having 6 points already with over 55% attack efficiency in set number 1. Meanwhile, the Zus Coffee reinforcement in Tamaru converted 4 of her 14 attacks. That is 29% attack efficiency. Now, the difference is Cignal, itong si MJ Perez, she had a lot of support when it comes to attacks from their locals. Meanwhile, on the side of Zus Coffee, Tamaru getting support from Gamit and Pascual, but the others are almost a non-factor on the attacking side.
That's got to change for Zus Coffee if they want to be able to take the second set. Here they got a free ball. Can they make it 2-0? Nice stab there by Meneses. Boy, Tamaru's got just so much power behind that one.
Ria Meneses, she just tried to close the block Chinchin Basas. Look at how far she was. She almost seemed like she was gonna block Chinchin Basas. But importantly for Coach Ak, she did try, but it resulted to that point from Asaka Tamaru.
Perez is gonna find that donut hole in the middle of the defense.
You're gonna get the point back. MJ Perez already with 8 points, followed by Acuna with 5, Molina with 4. And on Zus Coffee side, si Asaka Tamaru, although itong si Clo Mondoñedo almost exclusively going to her, but she has the hands for their team. But she's gonna need a lot of support, and I think that's the essence of this reinforced conference. We know that the reinforcements will be the go-to in all the games, but it's a matter of having the most efficient support system for these foreign guest players.
Nice dig there by Cayuna. Basas will send it over though. Mondoñedo to the pin. Great dig. That is going to be a violation on Meneses.
Ria Meneses reacting after she knew she touched the net, but that was a great defense displayed by Jel Cayuna. Asaka Tamaru, she hasn't gone down the line in the first set. This is the first time it was guarded well by Jel Cayuna.
Perez denied. Back to MJ.
Ria Meneses, she was just at the right place for that coverage. And MJ Perez, after knowing that the blockers were established in that first attempt, she used that as the blockers on her second try to get that point.
It's a block there as we check in with Alexis.
Anthony and Mela, speaking of Zus Coffee, a member who is stepping up more given Jade's absence. Japanese reinforcement from Okayama, Japan, Asaka Tamaru, told me how happy she is to be in a team that has members that has the same age as her. Mostly fresh graduates from college. Tamaru-san can relate to their youth and their fun compared to Kurashiki Ablaze, who played last Invitational Conference. They had trainings only every morning. Meanwhile, training in Zus Coffee requires a commitment both day and night, leading to more acquired discipline, as said by Tamaru-san. What's nice about Zus, as said by Asaka Tamaru, is that it's loud, it's repertory, and communication is definitely on top. This report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now for 149 pesos. Back to you, Mel and Anthony.
Tamaro has been heaven sent here for the squad of Zus Coffee. They'd like to be able to have a full squad though. Be able to really stay in step with the rest of the competition, but until that time comes, Tamaro says, let me take over.
As expected, both the foreign guest players stop scoring right now. 10 points already for MJ Perez, 7 for Asako Tamaro. It's been a showdown since the game started, but clearly the HD Spiker is having a leverage with regards to playing as a unit.
From the back row, Tamaro dug. Perez was there, but at the same time, so was Cayuna, and that landed right in the middle.
Very rare miscommunication. Both of them actually attempted, pero nailang din sila pareho. And that is the importance of calling for the ball. We also see some new faces on the side of Zus Coffee. Tapia now in the front line.
Another violation, and Zus Coffee is going to increase their lead.
2-point lead, and we have to remember during the first set, this is also the pace for Zus Coffee. They would get the early lead, but Cignal just pulling off those runs. We haven't talked much about Angeles, but she's been very effective today. A lot of impossible balls kept in play because of her efforts.
Perez, that one a little bit too strong for Tamaro to handle.
You know, Zus Coffee also challenging Jel Cayuna to come up with those combination plays, because their floor defense is very intact, of course, with Angeles also showing up big time today on floor defense. But even their block touches, it's resulted to more counter plays for them.
Easily put down there. Molina was waiting for that one. And we're tied at 7.
The score is tied at 7.
This time around, says Molina. We know that she's also an all-around player and a very experienced player for Cignal. She can contribute with those attacks, with those blocks. But speaking of contribution, Tapia being subbed in and scoring, leading to the technical timeout.
Much better showing here in the second set by Zus Coffee, as they even led by 2. Right now they lead by 1 at the first technical timeout. There you can see some adjustments trying to be made there with MJ Perez on the sidelines, as Cignal is trying to pick up their second victory of the conference, while Zus Coffee looking for their initial win.
We see this sense of urgency on the side of Zus Coffee, playing better than they did in their first game. And continuing with the lead. This time it's a 2-point lead, 9-7 after that error from Acuna. But talking about the format again, napaka iksi lang ng conference. When we reach the quarterfinals, semis, and finals, it's all knockout games. But the first round is actually gonna determine your advantages moving forward. So Zus Coffee, after losing in 3 straight sets in their first game, they really need to put in more efforts against Cignal today.
Cayuna thought she had a hole, but she ran out of real estate that time. It's now a 3-point lead for Zus Coffee, and a timeout will be called by Coach Shaq.
Focus. Kami napalo dito, hindi namamatay. Maayos yung depensa nila dito. Dito tayo. Tsaka power pa rin. Kapag pinacheck-patch niyo yung palo niya, maangat yan. Ayos ang depensa niya.
Tara, compose lang. Guys, pasa muna, pasa. Tatlo lang yan, ha? Huli natin, ha? Kaya yan.
Passing natin, ha? Nasa 1.29 tayo.
Pasa muna. Let's go! Simula natin sa pasa. Hey, Cignal!
Just some quick reminders there from Coach Shaq.
Still serving for the Thunderbelles.
3 points is not insurmountable, but obviously he wants to be able to stop this bleeding right now.
You also love the new look of the timeouts these days. Before it was just all motivational, but now it's data-driven. There are coaches saying their efficiency on certain skill departments, and it also gives an added mindfulness to the players. But just look at Tapia on the other side, Zus Coffee just being mindful that she needs to contribute to the efforts of their foreign guest player. Kanina ito yung naging problema nila nung nasa back row si Tamaru. No one in the front row stepped up, but this time Tapia being that magic bunot for Coach Jerry. And let's see if on the other side, si Doria naman, yan din ang magiging role. She came off the bench last game. She scored 6 points, 4 of which came off from block. She used to be the starter for Cignal, but now we see Acuna also sharing the minutes with the veteran.
Back row, Tamaru dug there by Basas, and Meneses scores, and that's going to be back-to-back points here for Cignal.
The transition plays of Cignal HD Spikers have been all made possible because of the defense they've been showing.
Going to the pin, and scoring there is Tapia.
I think Tapia is 3 on 3 right now. She does have 3 points, but I think her attempts, she already converted them all.
Nice stretch. Point still alive here. It's 3 consecutive points.
Zus Molina stepping up. Every time they need a point, you know that they could count on her, but let's not discount the efforts of Zus Coffee. Imagine the defense of the Thunderbelles also posing threat. Kanina sa timeout ng Cignal, nabanggit din niya na kapag patse-patse lang yung palo nyo, maganda yung depensa ng kabila. So now Cignal's being forced to come up with these strong and smart attacks, and that's what Cincin Basas opted to go for, but it was miscalculated. Medyo sobra yung atake na yon, and allowing Zus Coffee to have a 3-point lead yet again.
Tapia, good serve. She's been having a great game for herself as well. From the back row, Perez is dug. Bump set. What a block there.
We already mentioned this earlier. Floor defense, spectacular for the Thunderbelles, but also those block touches. And this time, it's not just a touch, it is a kill block, courtesy of that collaboration between Pascual and De Los Reyes.
Ines is going to pick up another point here, getting her team to within 3, but still a tremendous showing here by Zus Coffee in the second.
Another important thing kasi, if you're gonna lose a game, you need to stack up as many quotient as you can, because sooner or later it's gonna boil down to that. So we see Zus Coffee, they know who they're up against, but they are really giving their A game against the HD Spikers.
Wow, Basas was able to sneak that one through. That was a very small window.
It happened right in front of us. It was giving anxiety because look at the entrance of Meneses. Basas almost landed on her, but good thing she was very mindful. She still tried to keep her distance and score that point.
Tamaru denied. And the lead is now down to just 1.
Good rotation by the HD Spikers. So they have MJ Perez in the front line and a very good blocking duo in Chinchin Basas and Ria Meneses.
Oh, Cayuna got to that one. And just using the block there is Perez, and we are tied at 14. And this time it's Zus Coffee that needs a timeout.
Let's go. Lalakas talaga nila yung service nila. Try lang tayo, try. Receive ulit tayo. Abawi lang ha. Pass mo na.
Huwag mo nang asahan yung mula ron, di. Mauna ka na sa likod.
Cover tayo girls ha, pagpapalo si Asuka, cover tayo. Ang layo nyo eh. Maganda yung blockers. Isa ha. Go! Eh, on the drill! Mga tayo ha.
Trying to stop the momentum there was Coach Jerry, and adding some little adjustments. Let's see if his players can execute, because right now they're a little bit embattled.
Still serving for Cignal, Zus
Ooh, that serve's gonna sail out for Molina as she apologized to the bench. 1 point lead once again for Zus.
Good timeout from Coach Jerry. And even in their timeout, may nagbanggit din na nilalakasan na nila yung serve nila. So, it was a very effective strategy, talking about that timeout, to freeze the server.
Wow, what a shot there from Perez. Not the best of setups, but she made the most of it.
The score is tied at 15.
Also responding to that instruction earlier na walang pechay na palo, and also very smart of her to target the middle blocker who just finished serving. Because the libero of Zus Coffee, both Zeta and Angeles, have been doing an excellent job here manning the floor.
16 for Zus Coffee, 15 for Cignal.
That point there from Gamit is going to bring us to our technical timeout. Back to the action here at the Phil Sports Arena here in Pasig. Cignal HD and Zus Coffee kicks things off for another triple bill. This is your 2024 Premier Volleyball League Reinforced Conference. Pascual now serving for Zus Coffee, up by 1. Perez, no denying her that time.
Again, combination play executed well by Jel Cayuna. Just look at that.
That spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin, Pasalubong ng Bayan. That still gets over.
Oh!
The point will be replayed.
Well, safety first more than anything else, as our officials say.
Well, the referee has already signaled that call in between or during the rally because Doria just fell on the floor because there was a wet area in the middle of the court.
Clearly a slick portion there. She looks okay.
Still serving, Chin Basas.
So we'll do this over again.
You're tied at 16.
They go to Tamaru. She goes down the line.
Better passing displayed by Zus Coffee because we know how Cignal started to load up on their serves. It affected the place of Zus Coffee, and right now they're trying to get it back with those steady passes.
Good reception, and Doria comes up with another point.
What a luxury for Coach Shaq to have Doria, Meneses, and also the developing Acuna, who's had 6 points already so far in this game. Nakabang doon ni Molina. Red. Well, yung attempt na yun, ito ni Mondoñedo.
1 point lead enjoyed by Cignal. Perez with the serve. Ooh, that dropped in the nick of time, getting that corner.
Timeout, Zus Coffee.
Good pass, good pass, good pass.
Pasa. Una po.
Huwag lang give up.
Pasa, drop ni setter, di wala.
Okay na. Okay na. Go tayo ha. Bawi agad. I want the three! Zus!
19-7.
Si Coach Dante Linsinurin already here at the venue. And they also have a game today, a big game against the Akari Chargers. One of the anticipated matchups in this pool.
Score by Tapia.
Tapia continuing to explode for Zus Coffee. Putting the Thunder in Thunderbelles. We take a look at this attack again. Great swing. She's not the tallest player, and we knew that even in her collegiate years, but she would always go for those power hits.
Back to Tapia, and she delivers once again.
5 points already, all coming from attacks.
The score is tied.
Tapia really rising to the occasion. They needed support for Tamaru, and that's what they've been getting from Tapia.
Free ball coming up here from that poor reception, starting from Abil. Passes was there. Molina. Cayuna says, let me take this point.
Jel Cayuna, she has attempted earlier to go for those 1-2 plays. May mga naabangan, merong nag-outside, but this time she went for the spike after getting that regalo. And she knows Zus Coffee's defense today, it's relentless, so she did target that back area where there was no one to guard that attack.
That didn't get over. That's clearly 4 touches. And it's now a 2-point lead here for Cignal in the business end of set number 2.
And the trend continues. Like we said in set number 1, it was also Zus Coffee who got ahead in the first parts of that set. And then later on, Cignal, just being the veteran team that they are, really coming off with those runs as they continue to do so here in the second set. 22-19, courtesy of that block collaboration between Cayuna and Meneses.
That's the youth showing here for Zus Coffee.
There's a lot of promise in this team. It's only their second conference. First conference as Zus Coffee. Previously, they were a strong group athletics. They have acquired some young talents to beef up their lineup. And De Los Reyes being part of that youth, who's now making a name for themselves here in the pros. We take a look at this play again. Mondoñedo, like we did mention on top of the coverage, yun lang yung kailangan niya. Hanapin din yung strengths ng kanyang mga locals.
Great hit there from Pascual. She saw there was a space, and all she did was get it there. Timeout's going to be called here now by Coach Shaq. His second and final timeout for the second set.
Let's finish aggressive.
Focus ah.
Hey, up tayo ng 1 ha. Huwag kalimutan yan. Oh. Kailangan lang natin maging aggressive. Ha? Finish strong kaya, finish strong.
1, 2, 3, go, go, go. Tara. Let's go, Cignal! Bawal!
Ready lang, ready lang.
Coach Shaq reminding the girls na lamang sila ng isa because they're starting to play really tight as if they are down. So, nagpaalala lang ito si Coach Shaq. Let's see if Cignal gets redeem their confidence and play lighter in this final stretch of the second set.
Ooh, indecision there from Tamaru. She thought that was out. It clipped the line.
Meneses still ready after that second ball save from Jel Cayuna, and Tamaru letting that very important ball go could actually set things for them.
What a dig there by Abil. Likewise there from Zeta. That'll stay in.
They got a point from her in that corner pocket shot by Riri. She gives back the favor and trimming the lead to just 1. Kanina nung natapos yung first set, itong si Tamaru nasa backline. Now this is good news for them. They just need steady defense to set up their reinforcement, and she delivers with that off-the-block hit using Basas and Meneses.
We're tied at 23. And Cignal out of timeouts.
23 all. Now serving for Zus
Sosa now with a serve. Esera Perez. Back to Perez once again. That time she's dug. Chance. Tamaru's not going to get that over.
There's no call. And the Coach Shaq is not going to let that rally continue as he calls for this challenge. From our view, it seemed like the ball did not go over, but sometimes, you know, this challenge, it's very tricky. Kahit konting dikit lang, yung usual na net touch na or 4 touches na in some challenge replays, madikit lang ng konti doon sa kamay ng blockers. It's gonna be considered a point for Zus Coffee.
It just needs to make any touch here on the other side.
On top of the net. So let's see. This is a momentum shift, possibly, if Zus Coffee gets the point.
Well, whoever gets the point, it's going to be set point.
Or probably replayed if there was a touch. The ball's just going to be replayed because the challenge was called in the middle of the rally. But if there was no touch, then the point will automatically go to the Cignal HD Spikers, leading to the set point. But definitely, this is a much tighter second set because Zus Coffee's holding on to the score. Kanina, medyo nung nakahabol yung Cignal, pinakawalan na nila eh. But this time, definitely mas very much into the game sila. And you see Coach Jerry on the side, not his usual serious self. We can see him smiling.
Well, these are growing pains for a very young squad. And so he knows he wants to, more than anything else, show his girls that they can compete here with the squad of Cignal, one of the powerhouse teams here in the PVL.
And we're seeing this version of Zus Coffee without, you know, the top draft pick in Thea Gagate. And it makes it even more exciting for the volleyball fans to witness this kind of an improved young team in Zus Coffee faring well against veteran and established squads like the Cignal HD Spikers, despite the fact that they have a former Olympian on their lineup. Pero yung score natin, dikitan lang at 23-all as we continue to wait for this video replay.
Maganda pinapakita ng Zus. Sabi nila, nakakasabay na kami. Wala pa si Thea.
That's right. And one thing also na very Coach Jerry coded is yung mga players niya, whether it's from UAAP, NCAA. Alam niya ng mga volleyball fans na pag under kay Coach Jerry, very mature and stable inside the court. Not easily rattled. So, yan yung demeanor ni Coach Jerry that he is able to pass to so many players. And right now, we see this video replay. It seemed like there's gonna be a touch on the forearm of Ria Meneses. Kasi half ng bola nasa ilalim ng net, half nasa taas.
They're saying no.
Oh, okay.
Hindi
so,
umabot.
before Ria pressed in her forearm, nakabalik na yung bola. So it is a good call. It is a successful challenge by Coach Shaq, and they are gonna get set point right now.
Big serve here for Zus Molina. And it's erased here by Pascual.
And again, not easily rattled. Yan ang mga players nito ni Coach Jerry Yee. As we see the maturity and the eagerness of Pascual going up against the veteran Riri Meneses one-on-one, and she delivers.
Tied at 24. Perez will deliver, and that's going to be the second set point now here for Cignal.
When in doubt, just go to MJ Perez. Actually, before this point, kanina itong si Jel Cayuna almost exclusively going to MJ Perez even when she was at the back row. No? Dahil kailangan na nilang isarado itong set na to. They don't want to give any opportunity to Zus Coffee. And right now, we see the draftee now with the Cignal HD Spikers, si Ishi Lalong Isip.
Nice stretch there. Perez, Doug, Tamaru. Tamaru again, that time denied. They send it over to the other side, and Pascual delivers again.
Ito yung mental toughness and yung hinahanap na support para kay Tamaru. It's now showing up for Zus Coffee. And ito yung makikita mong development na gusto ng mga coaches. Mga mas bata going up against veterans. Pero at this crucial juncture of the game, nagde-deliver pa din.
Not the best of setups there. Chance, Tamaru. Tamaru again. Slow down in her attack. Back to Perez. Angeles was there. Balik kay Perez. And that time she says, enough is enough.
Angel Cayuna, binlisan na yung second set doon kay MJ Perez. So she may be able to do this. Look at that, tower above the blocker. Dahil patalon pa lang itong si Mondoñedo, napalo na ni MJ Perez. And they just need 1 point to seal off this second set against Zus Coffee.
Basas with the serve. Why not go to Tamaru? She also delivers as the reinforcement.
Not going down without a fight, and she really made it worth it yung kanyang final rotation in the front row. So let's see if Tapia gets to work her magic. She is 50% today, converting 5 of 10 attacks.
Starts here with the serve of Tamaru. Ooh, into the net. That's gonna hurt. Another set point here for Cignal.
Very costly error for Tamaru. Now all she needs to do is compensate for that in defense. They just need a very steady one to set up either Pascual or Tapia, who's both having a good showing here today.
Perez just made sure of that one. Here's Tapia, gets denied. Point still alive. Doria, slowed down. Back row. And stay in. Tamaru able to make up for her earlier miscue.
That's right. I was going to say she did not make up for it just with defense, but rather a point. The point that she gave up prior is now back with them, buying this second set, a very tight second set, 27 all. And you also see another draft pick from Adamson. You have Nika and Doc. And we know their brand of play from that university. It's all defense, but this time, Cesc Molina making sure that no defense is stable enough to handle this attack.
So Basas is gonna check out. As they send C in, and we're gonna have Cayuna as a hitter. Doria though with the serve first. Back to Molina. Back-to-back points there from Cesc. And set number 2 is going to go to Cignal HD by the thinnest of margins.
And the HD Spikers now lead this match.
Look at Cignal really displaying a total team effort. Cesc Molina wanting to end this second set on a high note as she takes it for Cignal HD Spikers.
25-18, 29-27 is our scoreline here so far. 38 minutes is what it took for Cignal to take this 2-0 advantage as we go and take a look at highlights of our second set.
Well, we've mentioned over and over how well Zus Coffee had been playing throughout this game. It was relatively good first set, but definitely a better second set for them. But clearly, itong Cignal HD Spikers just really setting their eyes on their goal to top this pool as they continue to dominate and exert, you know, their veteran savvy here against the younger Zus Coffee. But talking about the numbers, here in set number 2, mas bumaba yung attack efficiency ng Cignal compared to their, you know, performance in the first set. Just 34% attack efficiency, just close to 31% attack efficiency of Zus. Kanina nasa 44 sila. It also meant that the defense of the Zus Coffee Thunderbelles really improved here in the second set, and that is why it took 38 minutes for that set to end dahil ang daming magagandang rallies, ang dami ring na-counter nitong Thunderbelles. And just look at them equalizing on the attack department. Kanina iwan na iwan sila dyan, but it was also the blocking of the Cignal HD Spikers making such a big difference in that set number 2. Of course, that is with the help of Ria Meneses, who's a multiple-time awardee in Best MB, and also itong sila Cincin Basas and Jel Cayuna also chipped in on that department. But overall, it was also the efforts of their leaders, talking about MJ Perez, who has 17 points right now, and Ces Molina with 10 points. So parang pag umiikot si MJ, hindi mo namamalayan na nawala ng reinforcement kasi she's also producing as much points and with high efficiency. On the other side naman, Tapia just becoming such a revelation, and also a very good support to Tamaru and also Pascual, who's had a lot of crucial points for Zus Coffee. Now, let's see kung this third set, kasi nag-i-improve yung game ng Zus Coffee as they go in this game. Let's see if finally they get to, you know, steal this third set, or will Cignal just really end on a high note the same way they did over Chocomucho in their last game.
You can see Ces Molina was the one who scored the last 2 points for her squad. They eventually get that second set. Mondoñedo will start things off here in the third. Molina will start things off with a point. That is her third straight here.
And she ended that second set on a high note. Now starting off things here on the third set. The former MVP always ready to deliver for Cignal.
That time she tried to stretch out. Abil was actually there. We're tied at 1. Early going to the third.
But also, itong si Pascual on the side of Zus Coffee. Napakaganda rin ng leadership na ipinapakita niya. And looking very relentless also.
Pascual denied. Look at that wind up there from Perez as we send it over to Alexis.
Anthony and Mela going heart-to-heart with the Venezuelan Olympian. MG Perez, she shared to me back in 2008, Venezuela actually placed bronze in a lot of countries back in 2008, but now there's an institutional reform with a halt for volleyball with no active league in the country. Now, slowly, Venezuela is building children's volleyball clinics little by little for the future generations. For MJ, this is the one thing Filipinos should treasure. We have the premier volleyball league here to cater to volleyball fans. In Venezuela, they don't have that. But here, we can celebrate the love for sports. More than that, MJ Perez is excited to play more competitively for Cignal and against former teammates in another league who are now veterans in the PVL. This report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now for 149 pesos per month. Back to you, Mel and Anthony.
Well, Perez there with an error in her attack.
3-2 Zus Coffee.
She's just so happy to be back in the Philippines and again showcasing her talents. Service error coming from Ancheta.
Seeing action for the first time here in the third set. Probably called from the bench. This is still a very close game as we are tied at 3 points.
Nice stretch from Abil. Perez just goes down the line. Mondoñedo's there. In the middle. That's still kept alive. Back to Meneses.
Zeta really going for all those balls, all those saves. And it pays off for the Thunderbelles. So the liberos of Zus Coffee, they're very underrated. Pero kahit sino ipasok sa kanilang dalawa, nagpapakitang gilas. We've seen Angeles contain a lot of heavy spikes earlier. And this time, Zeta, just a lot of ball control on those impossible balls. But they managed to counterattack with that. But this time, a clean hit from Perez will do it for Cignal, tying the match at 4 points.
She had gone back there to serve.
MJ Perez just 3 points behind from her last match output.
That's going to hit the antenna from Gamit. Now 1 point lead here for the squad of Cignal. You can see Coach Jerry there unfazed.
Gamit not the best connection with Mondoñedo. She had 7 points.
Wow, what a serve there. What an angle. A lot of power. Watch
Very
this.
controlled target. We also saw that earlier. I think it was the first set. MJ Perez, we know she is an all-around player. She continues to prove that. But Gamit making up for that error earlier, connecting well this time around with Mondoñedo. She was also the second top scorer against the Petrogas Angels. But right now, they need more efforts from her para kasi yung second set, yung blocking talaga yung nag-spell ng difference for Cignal. So they need more plays to divert the attention of the blockers of Cignal away from Tamaru and Tapia.
Another big server is Tamaru. That's not going to get over. Don't look now, but Zus Coffee has retaken the lead at 7-6.
In the second set, they did lead both technical timeouts, and now they're just 1 point away.
It's able to get over, but at the same time, point will be scored once again by Gamit. Bring us to our first technical timeout. Sama-sama tayo sa laban ngayong Olympic Games Paris 2024 with Cignal. Panurin ang mga laban sa tatlong exclusive channels at iba pa in high definition, anytime, anywhere. Mag-subscribe lang sa Sports Action Pack for only 300 pesos.
Advocate Gonzania also in attendance. As we know, the Pool B teams are playing in our triple header today.
Our second match is Akari up against Chocomucho, and at 5 in the afternoon, our third and final match, it's Petrogas up against Capital One. That's out.
That was a good exchange between the two teams. Pascual and Ria Meneses having a couple of touches back and forth, but Gamit, it was an opportunity for her kasi nagkakagulo po yung defense itong Cignal, but she hit that ball out.
Gamit, bawi ka agad.
Also, good intention to target Ria Meneses.
The Spikers set is brought to you by Duncan, pasalubong ng bayan. Molina cross court. Tapia was able to get to that one. Combination play. Tamaro was there. Back row. Nauna yung talo ni Pascual eh.
That's right. And MJ Perez just knowing what to do in every situation she's put in the game. So look at that. Calculating the court really well. Just look at her being such a good leader inside the court. Encouraging her teammates kasi medyo nawawala yung reception nila eh. And good thing for them, mahuhusay yung mga attackers nila sa mga off-system plays, just like this one. But they're gonna...
That might not make it over. It doesn't.
Well, yung intention talaga ni Zus Molina is to at least pick a, a not so good defense. Kasi minsan yung mga middle blockers, pag sila yung kumuha ng mga ganyang katataas na bola, they cannot control it. So that was the intention, pero kinapos.
Perez again delivers on the back row, and Tamaro can't believe it.
MJ Perez already matching her output from last game, 22 points right now. And look at how creative she gets. Kanina tinarget niya yung zone 1 corner pocket with an easy ball, and this time really just, addressing all those open areas on the court of Zus Coffee. Zus Molina already with 12 points.
Perez gets denied again. They swing it over to the other side. Basas just gets it over. We're tied. Abil was trying to get to that. Not realizing that she did have a teammate behind her in Molina.
Yan din yung lack of communication, no? Dahil minsan, those block touches, it messes up the defense pattern. But she was in the right place, kaya lang they failed to communicate na there was someone behind her. Tough set.
They go to the other side. Chinchin Basas with a cross-court shot.
Chinchin Basas, we haven't heard from her in a while. But scoring her fourth point of the game right now. Just look at that single blocker against Basas, and she delivers.
What a dig there by Cayuna. Miss hit. And Perez can't believe it.
One of the rare errors of MJ Perez, but Let's talk about that defense. Jel Cayuna, every time that the attackers of Zus Coffee address into that zone number 1, na ko-contain niya talaga. It's just that the execution of the attack not gonna work. I think that's back-to-back errors from the HD Spikers.
13-11 Zus Coffee.
The top scorers in MJ Perez and Molina allowing Zus Coffee to get a lead, 13-11.
Great dig. That's gonna get through.
Ganda ng iwas na ni Gamit. Because sometimes, you know, during that movement, umiikot ka sa ere, nawawala ng balance eh. But she kept her balance intact as they get a 3-point lead here against Cignal.
Let's go! Bawi lang!
Kaya habol lang ha. 1 point at a time muna tayo. Aggressive pa tayo sa net. Medyo bumababa yung percentage ng atake natin eh. Okay? Ha? Tapos attack cover tayo, cover. Nawawala yung coverage natin. Okay? Okay, go, go. Nasa ano pa lang tayo? 14. Ha? Malayo pa yan. Ha? Okay, go, 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 go.
Let's go! Let's go! Go, Cignal! Vamos!
14-11 is our tally here. Zus. 3-point lead in with a serve. Serving Sancheta. Trying to build on this lead of theirs. Poor serve though.
12, serving 14. Serving for the HD Spikers.
Errors already for Zus Coffee. Or 4 rather here in the third set alone.
Quick approach there from Tamaru.
Tamaru with her first point here in the third set rather. 14 points already for her. Look at that, finding the gap between the hands of Jel Cayuna.
Back row attack from Tapia. Perez into the net.
Again, the defense of Zus Coffee forcing Cignal to have some struggles or an added pressure on their attack as Zus Coffee leads Cignal HD Spikers 4 points. We are going to the second technical timeout.
Back to the action here.
See Coach Koji watching the games early today. They will be playing our third match later on. Pero for scouting purposes, nandito ng maaga.
This is Pool B action you're witnessing here this Tuesday afternoon. Perez is going to score. That's going to stop the bleeding and bring their squad to within 3.
we've been seeing more combination plays on the recent rallies because Coach Chuck did remind the HD Spikers in their timeout na bumababa yung porsyento nila sa atake.
Gamit denied there. Damaru rather. She knew she made a mistake.
She had the right intention hitting it ng second ball kasi perfectly set naman sa harap niya pero hindi siya nakabuelo ng full approach and so it resulted to an error.
One of the few errors of Asaka here. Put down there by Meneses. Height is might.
I was gonna say the same thing. Height is might. And kanina, Tamaru nag-struggle, hindi nakabuelo this time. Meneses, hindi na kailangan bumuelo. Because height is might and Zus Coffee will call for a timeout.
First ball ulit. Pangit yung timing nun.
Ngayon, bawi agad. Una tayo.
It's okay, it's okay.
Bawi agad ah. Go. Let's go! Eh, 1, 2, 3 yan! Yes!
Still serving for Cignal, Maria Perez.
Perez now with a serve. Already with a couple of aces. Gamit was just waiting for that one.
(17-15) Zus Coffee. Now serving Asaka Tamaru.
Tamaru now with the serve. Great serve. Cayuna just got to that one. Free ball coming up here for Zus Coffee. And Gamit delivers once again.
Timeout, Cignal.
Breathe in. Huwag mo mag-enjoy tayo. Let's go! Dulang yan naman, Pas! Ang tatlo! Vibrant pass, Pas! Cignal! Vamos! Imagine mo!
Still serving Asaka Tamaru.
See Brooke Vansickle also enjoying the action here on her first game.
Meneses will pick up another one. Attacking the backside there of that defense. Cutting the lead to 2.
A lot of names emerging for the HD Spikers. See MJ Perez, 23 points. Molina with 12. And Meneses almost reaching the double-digit output also with her 9th point. And all thanks to Jel Cayuna's excellent playmaking today. But she's also being challenged well by the playmaking of Mondoñedo as they get another point of that connection with Asaka Tamaru. And so far for Zus Coffee, we see that Tamaru has been struggling here in the third set compared to how she played in the first 2 sets. But luckily for them, medyo malapit-lapit pa yung score because the locals like Gamit and Pascual have been carrying majority of the load na now na medyo naka-hibernate itong si Tamaru.
Not anymore.
Coming off hibernation as Asaka Tamaru scoring her 16th point of the game.
And we're now at the business end here of the third set. Pretty sizable lead enjoyed here by Zus Coffee.
great defensive effort from Gamit. As we know, the middle is not the best floor defenders, so it makes it special when they get to defend those powerful hits from the opponent. And it's very costly to lose that point from a miscommunication.
That was a chance to open up an even bigger lead. That's gonna creep over. Tapia's gonna send that long. Or they're gonna say it was checked.
Tapia, she was very efficient in the second set. She started here in the third, but she was a bit quiet. They just need 4 points. And we know she's capable of coming up with streaks now that Tamaro's in the back row.
Ooh, that pass coming from MJ a little bit too strong.
Mancheta, very active at the net. Coach Jack would want to talk things over with the girls, or rather call a challenge. I think this is a net fall challenge. You're going to confirm in just a bit.
I think really more just to break momentum than anything else.
Because this is the first time that Zus Coffee reached the 20-point mark for the first time in this game. And it seems like maganda yung naging adjustment nila here in the third set. Dahil earlier, the same pattern applied in the first 2 sets. Zus Coffee would get the lead up until the second technical timeout, and then Cignal would just come up with those runs. And so far here, they have exhausted their efforts, but they haven't had any big runs to equalize the score, as Zus Coffee is now up by 4 points. I think it was it the ball? Okay, so it was evidently just the ball which made the net move, and no touch from Ancheta. But it was a good try. It was very close. And now we see a full front lineup for the Thunderbelles. Pascual and Tapia, who had a very high efficiency earlier, are on the front line.
Molina. Her team is still down big though.
Zus Molina powering through. Her blockers are very established right in front of her, but the creative attacker that she is, Zus Molina, just finding a way to score off that point before she goes for the serve. And the bad news for Zus Coffee is frontline na si MJ Perez, but they're not gonna need her services on that rally as Zus Molina scores off this ace for her 15th point of the game.
Leads cut down to 3. Here comes that last-ditch stand put together here by Cignal. Tapia slowed down. Perez delivers.
MJ Perez, 24 points. Now, the difference between the 2 reinforcements, itong consistency ni MJ Perez when it comes to scoring, it's just the same throughout the 3 sets. But for Zus Coffee, clearly nag-slow down yung scoring nitong ni Asaka Tamaru here in the 3rd set.
That's a great attack.
Judith Abil, she continues to have a good glimpse of her defense here for Cignal, but definitely not her steadiest game today. But making up for that in reception, as we see MJ Perez, 25 points for the foreign guest player. And if someone asks what her contribution is, she contributed an entire set right now, and the game's not over yet.
The team is still down here in the 3rd, trailing by 2. Big attack here. Basas denied. Tamaro denied as well. Tamaro again, that's put down. Tamaro was there at the right place at the right time, and it's set point now for Zus Coffee.
What a storyline for Zus Coffee. Imagine the set where the foreign guest player was limited. It is the set that they could possibly win, as they are now at a set point here in the third set.
We have a challenge by Cignal for net touch.
Ask for a challenge here on the net touch once again, which I think more than anything else is really just to break the momentum. Didn't seem like there was a net touch there, and at the same time, Coach Shaq is out of timeouts. This should be a quick review. This is an unsuccessful challenge. This is going to be set point for Zus Coffee. Trying to stay alive here in this very first match of another triple bill.
And I think this is just Coach Shaq exhausting all his efforts. Because, oh, it was actually Giselle C who had a touch. So it's going to be a point for Zus Coffee. There was a net touch, but it's from their end. Coach Shaq exposing his players. Just kidding.
Well, they lost the point anyhow.
Zus Coffee now at set point. Serving for the set, Tali Versosa.
3 set points for Zus Coffee.
Cincin Basas playing it safe, and Gamit will go for the counter.
And Zus Coffee is going to take set number 3.
Zus Coffee takes set number 3.
It's a bit limited, but nonetheless still very efficient for Zus Coffee, as she scored her 17th point of the game to get set number 3.
Third set in 34 minutes goes to Zus Coffee, and the Thunderbelles stay alive here in our first match this Tuesday.
You did call it, itong Thunderbelles just needed 34 minutes. It's because their game affected the game of the Cignal HD Spikers. As Coach Shaq said, bumababa yung mga percent nila sa atake, and it's because Zus Coffee here in the third set, they displayed excellent defense while also converting a lot of their counter attacks. And we see that they converted more of those attacks, 16 of 49 compared to 13 of 50 attacks of the Cignal HD Spikers. And for the first time in this game, they had more attack efficiency, 33% over the 26% of Cignal. And the good highlight, personally for me, is that, you know, in that set, talagang yung nag-lead in terms of offense was players like Gamit and Pascual. So you see the locals really stepping up when their imports struggled during the first part of set number 3. And nawala rin yung kaninang naging factor of that set 2 win for Cignal, yung blockings nila. It was 5 in the second set and they did not score any kill blocks here in the third, talking about the Cignal HD Spikers. Now, nakikita natin gradual yung improvement ng Zus Coffee. They had a very good first set, a better second set, and finally a won set, their first in this tournament so far. And that third set also, you know, spelled a steady set of starters for Coach Jerry Yee. Meanwhile, on the side of Cignal, no changes for Coach Shaq either. But clearly he is going to demand more support for MJ Perez. She's been doing it all. But we've also seen a lot of leadership from Zus Molina, who already now has 15 points.
First point's going to go to Zus Coffee as they continue their good hitting ways.
Again, Pascual continuing to take off some of the load on the attacking side from Tamaru. A lot of the sets have been going to her also, and I think it has been becoming an advantage to them because, you know, in the reinforced conference, people know that you're gonna go as much as you can to the imports, to the reinforcements rather, but right now the locals, the ratings are going for them. Mukhang mas hahanapin ni Mondoñedo.
Nice dig there by Tapia. It's 3-0 here for Zus.
3 straight points from the Thunderbelles. And again, it's because of their transition plays and their defense. So, sa kanila, importante maangat mo lang yung bola. They have a very talented, you know, former NCAA MVP in their setter. So they are very capable of coming up with those counter attacks. Just look at that, from attacking this time, Ancheta scoring off that solid kill block against the veteran Ria Meneses.
4-0 Zus Coffee.
You see the body language of the HD Spikers are getting a bit affected. They're moving a bit tighter now.
Finally, Basa says, I need to score. Let's send it over now to Alexis.
Anthony Mela, Zus Coffee's playmaker and leader, Chloe Mondoñedo, despite the young age, she has to steer the ship for the Thunderbelles, and she told me that instead of focusing on what they have to bring to the table, they're so excited to learn from every game that they have. She, along with her teammates, are excited to learn from the veterans given their first stint here. As a setter, nakakayanig daw isipin na nakakalabanan niya si Chisa in last game, and now signals Jel Cayuna. For Shar Ancheta, on the other hand, to be one of the 47 draftees is an honor and something to bring from Adamson is confidence and bravery, which is what we're seeing right now to this extended match and dominance. This report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now for 149 pesos per month only. Back to you, Mela and Anthony.
Well, the action is just starting to heat up here. After a dominating start, here comes Cignal. Just down by 1 now.
This is a 3-0 run, and so far nagiging magic bunot and game changer itong si Junella here in the fourth set. Yung kanilang mga naiputos ay galing doon sa nadepensahan ni Junella. And now Cignal just playing to their strengths, putting up that wall. Look at that. Basas and Meneses collaborating to block Tamaru. This is the first time. We talked about this earlier, how Janela is also such a luxury to have for Coach Shaq, and we're seeing her for the first time here in this set, replacing Abil, who's had quite a shaky performance today. So let's see if Jack Janela provides that stability that they need when it comes to defense, because that's all that Zus Coffee had been doing. Right now, converting from that excellent reception is Ria Meneses. Ba talagang nagiging epekto pag sakto yung hatid sa setter?
Miscommunication that time. Gamit not able to reach. And it's now a 1-point lead for the HD Spikers.
What a turnaround here. Just one change in the lineup, and suddenly it's the lead is now with Cignal, and they continue to pull away here. 7-5. Look at that. Acuna also chipping in more points. She did not see action in the third set.
It's a very quick shift of momentum here, Mela. Because ang ganda na pag-upisa talaga. Itong Zus Coffee, but Asaka's gonna come up with a point here. That'll help her squad.
Well, if you're Cignal, you can give more confidence to the Thunderbelles kasi they already know na sila yung mas bata dito. There's also intimidation from the fact na the Cignal HD Spikers are the veterans, so they just need to remind them of those strengths.
That's out from Perez. We're tied at 7. It's been a game of runs here in the third.
Right now, the problem remains for Cignal yung kanilang dipping efficiency when it comes to attacks. Because they were at 44% in the first set, and then it dipped to 34%, and now at 26%. But they will go to the first technical timeout.
Welcome back to the fourth set between Cignal and Zus Coffee. First two sets going to Cignal. The third going to Zus Coffee, and here a really tight affair once again. Actually, it's been nip and tuck all throughout. All four sets. Talagang pinaglalabanan nitong dalawang koponan.
Serving for Cignal, Chin Pasas.
The thing with these two teams, talagang very active yung mga players nila. As a lot of players really contribute per team. And right now, Chin Basas also joining the scoreboard, stacking up her points here in the fourth set.
Gamit has really done her share for her squad here today. Picks up another point there.
Gamit, very fearless going up against MJ Perez. It was a single block, but she powered through.
What a serve there from Masaka. And what a stretch just to keep that point alive.
this is also a very effective strategy from Coach Shaq. Really commanding the players to target Asaka Tamaru with their serves, and now she looks a bit more exhausted, no? And it's been affecting her efficiency with her attacks. But this time, MJ Perez, she was trying to go for a short serve, resulting to that error. She is at 26 points right now.
Quick attack, and Acuna. She had a very good first set.
Check Janela. Again, ang ganda ng naging impact niya dito sa laro ng Cignal. Clearly a game changer. Sakto yung mga inaabot niya, and it's been resulting to more plays for Jel Cayuna and her Spikers.
Serve will go long.
So kanina, it was the attacks that Coach Shaq had problems with, but right now, this emerging concern for him are the service errors of the HD Spikers. They're going to go for a challenge, right?
You don't usually see that, especially on a float serve.
Maninigurado itong si Coach Shaq. So see, medyo malayo. So probably
that was never in doubt.
Yeah, probably just to cut the momentum that Zus Coffee had been building, because as they saw earlier in the third set, if they allow Zus Coffee to pull away, they're a very high potential team.
Tapia. But MJ was there. Molina. Tamaru was there this time. Back to the pin. Tapia denied. Zus denied as well. Back row attack. That's going to squeak through.
This time defense will really pave the way for the attacks of MJ Perez and co.
Now serving Jel Cayuna.
That's a great serve. Tapia finds a hole.
Tapia, 7 points already, but you love seeing everyone from their team just really being creative. Kasi looking at Cignal, they're a very strong team in terms of net and floor defense. Pero the players of Zus Coffee talagang finding a way to score, except for Asaka Tamaru, who's been roofed on that last sequence. The set was actually already on the hands of the blockers, so it was such a struggle for her to score off that one.
Opening up a 2-point lead here is Cignal. And the captain with the serve. That'll be kept alive. Tamaru delivers again.
Tamaru using the hands of her blockers. Kanina pa siya nagsastruggle kasi saradong-sarado itong ball that Basas and Meneses had been putting up against her, and this time hitting it just a millisecond late para pababa na yung kanyang mga blockers. But this time, itong si Ancheta running out of luck. And that serve sailed out.
2 points separating these two squads. Meneses now with the serve.
Also, this is a different pattern for Cignal, because this is the first time they're leading early. Kanina laging Zus Coffee ang nauunang umabante, hahabulin nila, except for that third set where they did not manage to steal that set from the Thunderbelles. But this time around, the blockings of the HD Spikers are back It was a non-factor in the third set, which they lost. But it was the determining factor in that second set win. This time around, Pascual just again being creative and finding a way to score.
13-15. Serving for the Thunderbelles, Gail Pascual.
Pascual coming off that point now with the serve for her squad. Trying to bring them closer. They're trailing by 2. Combination's gonna work there for Basas. That'll bring us to our second technical timeout here in the fourth. It's a 3-point lead enjoyed by the HD Spikers. (16-13) is our tally here in the fourth. As the rain continues outside, we're witnessing fantastic action here inside the Phil Sports Arena.
Substitution for Cignal, number 10.
And this is just game number 1. Our second game is going to be Akari up against Chocomucho. Following this one, and later on today, it's Petrogas up against Capital One. That'll cap off Pool B action. On the back row, she has checked in for her squad. Here's Perez going high hands. Tamaro as well. Quick attack up the middle, and Acuna once again.
Angelica Yuna doing an excellent job feeding really different players, as we see 4 attackers already in double digits. 28 for MJ Perez, 16 for Molina, 11 for Meneses, and 10 for Acuna after that last hit.
Ace here for Giselle. And this is the biggest lead of Cignal in any set at 5.
You love to see the veterans, no, like Jack Junella, Giselle C, really working their magic. Dahil ito crunch time na, they need to win this set to get 3 points off from quotient. But that time around, Giselle C throwing off a serve, and we see more substitutions for Coach Shaq. Joe Fernandez, a collegiate awardee, best opposite in the UAAP.
Perez. Silence there, and that's a great attack once again from Tapia.
Tapia very quick to hit that ball. Bago pa ma-penetrate ni Fernandez yung kamay niya, napalo na agad ni Tapia. Take a look at that attack again. Just look at the hang time as well. So, syempre, when you have hang time, you have the option to hit it right away or magpa-delay. Nonetheless, could work for your advantage. But this time around, it is an attack error from April Tapia.
Back up to a 4-point lead here for Cignal.
Substitution for Cignal, number 15, Perez out.
Perez is going to come out.
MJ Perez just 2 points shy from scoring 13 big points for the HD Spikers. We see the rookie, Ishi lalong isip. very steady server and a good floor defender, but April Tapia is using the hands of the blockers. After that attack error, she makes sure she comes back and gets her 9th point after that hit.
Now serving Mitch Duggett.
There it is once again. Ace here for Zus Coffee. And they're now within 2.
A lot of players showing up from both teams this time. It is Gamit with her 13th point of the game, courtesy of that service ace, forcing Cignal to call for a timeout.
Bumalik ka na.
Tingnan mo yung block mo doon.
Balik ka na, balik ka.
Isang pasa. Ceci, pasa ka muna ha. Oh, sure.
Okay, compose muna ulit tayo ha. Focus muna tayo. Pasa and then atake tayo ng mayos, okay? Pasa lang doon sa medyo bumababa sa gitna. So aggressive tayo sa pasa. Okay, go.
Fight. Let's go, Cignal awesome! Vamos!
Back to the action coming off that timeout. Gamit serving once again.
Entering the game for Cignal, number 22, Jel Cayuna. Still serving for Zus Coffee, Mitch Duggett.
After that 4-0 start for Zus Coffee, Cignal has overtaken the lead and they haven't looked back as they scored their 20th point of the game, courtesy of that Acuna quick attack. Great connection with Giselle C as well. Ano naman yung kagandahan having both these best setters, Giselle C and Jel Cayuna, of course, products of the FEU volleyball program.
C gets to that one. They set up Molina. Back to the pin. Tapia delivers again.
Tapia scoring her first double-digit output in this conference. 10 points already for this Magic Uno. Definitely a game changer for Zus Coffee. And along with the other locals have been stepping up to support Asaka Tamaru.
Not to mention the Liberos have really done their job as well. That push is not going to find real estate.
And just like that, Zus Coffee trimmed down the lead to just 1 point. It's always during this juncture na pag malapit na sa 20, talagang nag-all out na itong dalawang teams.
Going down the line is Cayuna.
I had to take a second look and see if it was Cincin Basas, but it was actually 3-time PVL best setter Jel Cayuna who went off for that kill. Parang ilang taon nang nagsispiker ah.
Serving for Cignal, Jel Cayuna.
So now here comes Cincin Basas in place of Giselle C.
Great substitutions from Coach Shaq. Dito mo talaga makikita how well he utilizes yung kanyang mga players.
Tapia was asking for a touch. The officials say otherwise, and no challenge from Coach Jerry. It's now back to a 3-point lead. Nice dig. And Basas was falling down.
Ito lang yung unique struggle in Cincin Basas. We did mention during the first set, she had a very distinct spike approach. Pero pag bumuka at tumaas yung set, doon siya nahihirapan kasi she's always approaching towards the ball. But luckily for the HD Spikers, Tapia commits back-to-back errors, kanina from the attack, and this time from the service.
That's gotta hurt. Now Cignal 2 points away from taking this match.
Don't look now, MJ Perez is in the front line. They just need 2 more points, and MJ Perez is 2 points away from scoring 30 points in this game.
And she's also fresh off that bench. Was able to get some bit of rest. Tamaro denied. Here's Perez. Buelo. Zeta gets to it. Tamaro.
Asuka Tamaro.
Asuka Tamaro, you know that she looked for the hands of the blockers. She waited for the hands before she hit that ball. And at this point, you really need to play smart. It's not all about power. And this serve of Dolly Versosa is going to start things off for them. Oof.
A mistake from Perez.
It's just a one-point ball game for Cignal.
Are they gonna call for a block touch? Yes, they are. Pero parang medyo mataas ng konti yun.
I think they just really need to try their luck right now. Because otherwise, it's gonna give so much confidence to Zus Coffee as they continue with their hopes for a momentum shift. Ganda din ng play na ni Jel Cayuna. They opted for the combination play, but I think the timing of the approach, medyo mas napaaga si MJ Perez. So yung contact niya sa bola, it's not her usual. And so far, with this video replay, there is no block touch on that MJ Perez hit. And so the Thunderbelles are now just down by a point.
At ang masakit dito, wala na silang challenge. Ooh, that was close. That might have been out. Here's Perez. And that's going to bring her squad to set point, match point.
And the thing about Perez, regardless of how much pressure you put on her team, she has played multiple games with the same situations. And so she knows what to do during, these crucial stretches of the match.
Chance here to end it. Back to Perez, big swing. Why not go to your main lady?
And again, the 2 points that Cignal needed to close off this match was delivered by Perez, who finishes off with 30 big points.
That Panalo Play is brought to you by Yakult. A terrific game from Maria Perez. All throughout, from start to finish, siya talagang nagdala.
That's right, and at some point of the match, na-challenge din siya nung defense nitong Zus Coffee, but at the end, she and the rest of the Cignal HD Spikers emerged victorious against the Thunderbelles, who really showed a lot of talent, potential, and promise talking about the Thunderbelles. But right now, the win, number 2, will go to the Cignal HD Spikers, who continues to top Pool B. And now the rest of the teams, we will also see battle it off today in this triple header, rainy Tuesday.
There you can see our score line. It was really close all throughout, especially that second set, which went to 29-27. In fact, Zus Coffee also had a chance to win that second set.
And on those earlier sets, nakita natin yung maturity and yung pagiging veteran nitong Cignal. But in that third set, nakita rin natin that the potential of Zus Coffee is no joke. They can really fare with the bigger and more stable teams here.
And I will send it to Alexis, who is with our player of the game.
Anthony Mella here with me is player of the game with smashing 40 points. Correct, and with that, congratulations, MJ Perez. Okay, so MJ, it was such a close game. How did you come up with that finisher? How big of a factor was team unity?
First of all, I think today it was so much up and downs during our performance. But at the end, we couldn't make some changes, and the coach made some good changes, so we can change the game to our side.
And MJ, you talked about the changes. So how big of a factor is creativity, being creative on the court, and making your foes guess about what's your next move?
Definitely we have to keep working, and especially in our consistent, we have to be consistent during the whole game. That's something that today is missed. Like, we need to keep the consistent during the whole game, and for sure we will keep working on that.
And earlier back in the game, you told me that you wanted to be more competitive. And earlier in the game, you talked about how you wanted to be more competitive. So how is this game, which had, close sets with the other team, how will it make you practice for the next game?
Definitely, how I said before, we have to keep our consistent and our mindset during the whole game. It's not only about technique, it's also about our mindset.
Okay, so it's also mindset over the technique. And with me, MJ Perez, do you want to greet the Filipino fans?
Again?
Do you want to greet the Filipino fans?
Of course, I want to thank all the Filipino fans for your support, and I'm very, very happy to come back and be here with you guys. Thank you.
We are so happy to have you back as well. And up next, we have the Akari Chargers going against the Chocomucho Flying Titans. Back to the panel.
Thanks so much once again to the Cignal HD Spikers. And as Alexis has mentioned, coming up next, don't go away, another humdinger of a match. Akari up against Chocomucho in just a little bit. That's going to do it here for our first game coverage. In behalf of my partner, Mela Tunay, Anthony Stay saying thanks for joining us, everybody. Till next time, take care. Have a good afternoon ahead. Stay dry, everybody. God bless.